Well, along with all the other rust repair, the rockers and such, I've got the floor on both sides patched up. Well, except for these back corners here. This is the least of my worries. But over here, I started laying out a template, which is going to work pretty good. This contour here goes all the way across, but it drops down right here, so I've got to figure out how to hammer that out, shape that. But I want to do this one first, mainly because it's so bad. This one over here, I can kind of see the order of how everything's laying out and how it was put together. It's a good pattern to follow. So this one here, this panel ends right here where this seam seal is, which I'm just going to blow that out with a wire wheel. I got a little patch up here, just right there, really, unfortunately. I'll just cut that off, replace that little piece. This piece, since this is the top of the panel, I'll just cut it off down here, jog it over. This is all really solid metal, but there's some bad pitting right here I want to get rid of. So I'll just come down over. This is still really good metal, and I'll just cut out everything over here. This panel will actually go in first, such as this. And this panel here will lay over the top of this, a little flange. But to do this panel here, I'll get this all cut out, then I'll jump over and cut this one out. But when I go to weld this panel in, I'm going to weld it right on the edge of that corner. This piece here I'll unbolt and bend it up. And this is one piece all the way over to here. I don't know if you can see the edge of that. There's 3 pieces here. And then get all this fixed. And this will have a flange on it on this angle and this angle here, which will lay over the top of this piece. So I'll get this cut out, cut this out, make this piece, put it in, and then put this piece in. And when I get that all welded up, I'll just bend this over and just rebolt it back into place and it'll look good. I'm going to end this patch panel here, right here, because this is where that gutter starts. And instead of trying to form this whole piece with this gutter and this transition, I can start the transition here, and then when I go to do this piece, just be a simple break, and I can change the contour here to line up with this piece when I put that in. This one will be super simple. Just going to go basically to here. From here forward, it's really good metal. Just kind of ugly right here, some holes and whatnots. So that's my plan. I'll get this one done, and then we'll jump over and buzz that. And that's the end, the last of all the rust repair I have to do on here. Then I can do body work and good stuff like that. I have been working on other things because I was getting tired of doing metal work. But I got this all buttoned up. The engine's all bolted in, all except for the battery and battery tray, which I can't put in until I put the fenders in. But I got the core support all buttoned up. I still need to replace these, no big deal. But I got this all buttoned up ready, radiator in, bought a new shroud, and everything's just kind of hooked up the way it needs to go. I also fixed up, painted up the inner fenders, so they're actually ready to go in too. But the fenders, if you haven't noticed, I took them off. They're sitting over here in a pile. I took them off because I want to paint the inside of the fenders, because they're this side over here, the paint was flaking and kind of ugly. So I want the engine compartment to look nice. So I got those off to do that. I also popped the windshield out so I can clean all this up, get all this loose junk out of here. There's a little bit of rust on it. Get that all polished up before I put a windshield back in it. I'll do the windshield after it's all painted. It's a lot easier. So I'm at this point. The windshield was broke, junk, so I got a new windshield seal and slap that all together. Meanwhile, I'm going to get back at this. So this is a side panel, and I want to have this lip on here all the way around, or I need to. So I went ahead and figured out the shape that I needed and trimmed that out, and then when I make this bend and this bend, I made these long enough where I can actually bend them and connect them. I can weld this seam up, and then I'll have that wrap around flange that I want on here, like that. So I just need to make these bends, which I marked out, but I need to know where exactly to put all these holes in here. And I need to do this before I get this put in, but oh, how about this? I got a template here. It's already told me where those holes are going to go. Okay. All right, so that's where those holes need to be. I need to finish knocking this out so I can use that plate as a backer on here. All right, so I'll wind up welding that on there after I get all this done. So anyhow, I'm going to go ahead and make my bends. got my holes drilled. I just need to put my nut on the back of this. Whoops. Let me get those put in. That one and these two, I'll just weld some nuts on the back. Bring in and show you this. Well, you saw the before and after. Turned out really good. I'm really happy with it. Actually, it turned out a little better than I thought it would, to be honest. So this side's all done. I got the sill plate. I didn't show you me doing that. I just wanted to bust it out. That's all put together. I had to put a piece right here. This lower piece, this side panel, it's all in. Anyhow, and I still have this one, which is going to be very similar to what I did over here. I'm not going to show that. You've seen one, you've seen them all, right? But I did realize I lied to you earlier. I forgot, it's just above my head here, out of my sight, that I forgot that I have this spot here. This will be an easy repair. I'm just going to cut out this section right here and patch that, and what I'll do is take 2 sheets, I'll overlap them so that this seam looks right, and I'll just make a patch panel out of that, weld that in, and repair that spot. Well, this is where I'm going to wrap it up. I'm going to move on to something funner. I don't know what, probably sanding, and I don't think that's funner either. But it's all stuff that has to be done. So anyhow, I appreciate you following along, watching, your comments, your support. If you haven't, please like and subscribe. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys later. Bye.